look at that, because they're really unusual. There are these fisherwomen, some have the title fisherwomen in landscapes. They're really large, they're wearing weird outfits, they're chested. They have these little heads, it's almost like we're looking up at them, they're like towering and monumental. And what planet are we on that has a black sun? The black sun is her signature symbol. If you look now at all the paintings, the black sun is there. And black suns mean a lot of things to a lot of people. They could mean an eclipse, they could mean melancholy, they could mean all kinds of magical things, but they are her signature. And we can say a lot of things about them, but there's very rarely men, there's owls, right? You don't really associate an owl with a peach scene, right? And an owl is always a symbol of feminine wisdom or witchcraft or wildness. And they're very happy with each other. And again, all of us have different ideas of what it means, but we think it's some kind of pictorialization of her experience in Busada with these women, where she was very happy and intrigued by their independence. I know that her son told me that they were gun runners, and they would travel across the Sahara at night to avoid police detection. And that she did it many times across the Sahara on camel, can you imagine? And she said he said that she was really impressed by traveling at night with the moon, with all these people, quiet, mysterious. And I think these are like a creation in her own mind, like against her own world, of that experience of all women. Was she disappointed in her relationship? This is where I might differ. I don't think she was really that into him. I don't think she was that into him ever. I think she married for economic convenience and for freedom because poverty had been such a big part of her life.
Susan, do you believe that these particular set of paintings with that soul measure, with the black sun, that has also the kind of alchemical meaning of self-knowledge, that we must go through our darkest period to find ourselves? Do you think maybe she was trying to find herself through these paintings?
I think she always knew herself, but she was private and quiet because it was unacceptable. She was always ahead of her time, a pioneer. In those days, you couldn't express your real sexuality. But the other really important thing, this is what I'm interested in, and maybe you can just take a peek at that painting. That painting really reminds me of Ilene Susan Fort. And at this particular time in the 20th century, women were really interested in magic. It all began with Blavatsky in the 20th century with the invention of theosophy and spiritual types of trends. We know that she attended Rosicrucian lectures, theosophical lectures. She was a lifelong enthusiast of astrology. She was really interested in tarot cards. And while she was in Busada, she became very interested in Sufi mysticism, the mystical branch of Islam.
She actually writes to her mother commending the Arabs for their Sufi beliefs. She was one of the few people, European and American people, who saw the Arabs, the natives in Algeria, in positive light. When you read the letters of other women, such as Peggy Guggenheim. Peggy, all she wrote about when she went to North Africa with one of her many husbands, is all the great trinkets, jewelry, and clothing she bought. Mm-hmm. Juanita wrote about how serious they were, how good they were to each other, how religious they were. And Susan, definitely, she was a sponge for different religions and could see the similarities between them. That comes out much later, but it starts all the way at the beginning. Neither one of her parents were that religious. In fact, she said at one point, the only time she went to church when she was a child in Massachusetts is when their nanny took them.
Go ahead.
So are these painted in Aberth or when she returned to New York?
She returned to New York, yeah. And you can imagine it was a really different life. It was capitalism, it was New York. It was a hideous art world with all its prejudice. And looking at this one, I'm really like a language, an esoteric language that
But this is 20 years later.
Yes.
It's her
And that's the
imagination.
other thing,
Memory.
is she didn't evolve from one thing to another, I don't think. I think she always painted in like 4 or 5 different styles.
Yeah.
So certain aspects of her personality have to be expressed in certain pictorial ways. So, yeah.
Tabaitha, I'm wondering now, when you're writing, where's Tabaitha? In your writing, you say, don't call these women Amazons, gosh darn it. Now, why do you say that?
Okay, so it's, and you can call them Amazons. It's not a,
But,
no, it's joking about it.
It's
However,
interesting.
I have an argument about it. And I would just say that as a historian and a feminist, let's just be clear about what Amazons are and who they are. They're recipients. And there's, so let's separate the myth from the fact, right? So that's sort of my first thing. This using the word, appropriating the word Amazon has multiple sort of problems for me as a historian. But not to go give you a lecture on recipients. You can go Google that later. So what it really boils down to for me is that the idea that if we take all of the qualities that we're imbuing the word with Amazon, right? So we're imbuing the word Amazon with qualities that are strength and empowerment and self-determination and autonomy. If we take all of those words, which are so strong and beautiful and all the things that we want to be as men and women, or non-binary peoples, if we take those and we put them on Amazon, then the only way to be those words is to identify as an Amazon. Well, that segregates me from exactly who I want to be, right? So if we keep saying, oh, these Amazonian women, it creates this binary, this segregation between a lived reality that we can engage with, a lived reality that we can become and be empowered by, and instead it puts it over here. And I don't want that. I want to be the Amazon, right? I want to be Wonder Woman, right? You dress up in Halloween, I had tinfoil, and it was, you want to be those qualities, and you don't want them to be somewhere else or historical mythologization.
And this is the other reason, ladies and gents, that it was very important putting together this scholarship, to have 4 generations. Tabaitha is coming from a completely different perspective, which I love, in showing us that art historians don't always agree. We just keep studying and talking and evolving, and that's what we hope that we can do. Hi, Gloria, what?
Yeah, no, I wanted to say, in this room, I'm not seeing the ones in the juggler outfits and the,
Right here, here's where it
There's
comes.
a juggler.
Yeah, those
So that's
men,
a
I'm
juggler.
talking about the women. The women who have those, is there one here?
Well, here's the
Okay,
horseback
the ones
ride.
that are referring to, you'll find them in the book.
Yes.
And
Good plug,
they're
Gloria,
very, very,
thanks.
very tall, so the word that comes to your mind is Amazon. And they're very, very muscular, and very thin and attractive in what we would call stereotypical feminine way, except that they have very tiny heads, and the heads are completely out of proportion with their bodies. So when I was looking into this, I was like, oh, well, what will their male women looking like? Or what? No, you can't find anybody, any living group that you do research on that looks like that. But then I looked in the cave paintings. They have many treasures in the caves of ancient prehistoric art. And there I saw women, they look like they're flying through the sky, and they have tiny heads and very tall bodies in the same shape. So, I'm making just a hypothesis that since she did cross the desert at night, and she did probably stop and see these sights, because her son was maybe not born yet when he said things about her traveling at night, that she got to travel with the women at night and all that. But anyway, that she must have seen these forms. I can't prove it, and I don't know, but if she saw them, then maybe that was the inspiration for the small head. And but also just indicating that, these are women of brawn for a change.
Right.
Because we're going to run out of time,
Yeah.
ladies, we got to move a little bit.
Wanna do the
I want to
masks?
make sure that we talk about these over here.
Yes.
She had many faces, definitely, please, and for the fortune teller.
Yeah. I think Tabaitha does have a great point, but we also have to remember Juanita was wanting to exhibit and sell some of her work. So, as Susan said, some of her private life, most of her private life, she's kept a secret. And the secret comes out with the masking. If you take a look at enough of these paintings of women, Amazon or not Amazon, their faces are more like masks. In fact, a lot of times, she cuts off the heads straight, and the hair falls out. And you can understand what she's trying to do by this painting. She had many faces. all these wonderful masks. It wasn't until today, and I've looked at this painting many times, I said to Kendy just an hour or so ago, you know, these aren't all the same face. Some of the faces, they're all women, we think. Some of them have their mouth closed, some of them have open a little bit. And some of them look like they're singing with mouths wide open. So they're different moods. She had many faces. Masking is a subject that psychologists, especially women psychologists, started writing about in the 1920s and becomes a major feature of art by and about women, encouraged by surrealism, but still going on today. And she's part of this. Her son, as Susan said, her son with the private life, he noticed, especially late in life, she liked the models to be this brawny type, and she probably was a closet lesbian, okay, because he mentions the fact she had lovers of both gender. And it's interesting, it's black and white, whether it's black and white. I remember them as linoleum growing up when I did, but they also are very much references to Alice in Wonderland, and in Wonderland show in Mexico, they had they had yards and yards of black and white linoleum all going on the floor all the way up the walls. It was wonderful. So this is a very traditional way of doing it. And she did get a fascination with couture, some of the stuff that she actually modeled with these ladies.
I also love the fact in this one that she has, you see around her neck that she has the heart, but she also has the key. She has both the heart and the key, and she's not giving them away to anyone.
Yeah. And
right?
the key forms is in a lot of, especially this one,
There you go.
and several other works about time, and the key, and magic, and yes, as Kendy says, she's not giving away the meaning. You have to find it yourself. Okay?
Right.
These are really, really, really important.
And let's turn this way. I'd love, Susan, can you talk about these two paintings? The fortune teller is on this side, if you can see it, and then this one, which is also called the fortune teller. The fortune teller, I'm sorry, gatekeeper.
And the dominoes.
Yeah.
I love the dominoes.
Well, there's two important things about both of these works. Juanita became familiar with the surrealists when they were in exile in New York during World War II. And she met Andre Breton. And one of the cornerstones of surrealism is the law of chance. So things like gambling, roulette wheels, dominoes, things like that are overtly surrealist, okay? Because it's not that life is just a game of chance, but that mysterious forces are underlying energies in our lives that we're not aware of. Also, in addition to her father gambling with Chinese fortune, her brother wasted all of her own small amount of money. He said he would invest it and then just spend it all. So money, squandering, things like that. A very personal feeling for her. I want to comment, one, in addition to the black sun, you see the checkerboard floor. Now, I already told you that she was interested in a variety of esoteric traditions. And the black and white floor is in all of those traditions, Rosicrucianism and, of course, Freemasonry. The black and white refers to the reconciliation of opposites. And she was very much interested in alchemy and things like that. So it is a kind of a mystical landscape. Like, why is there a black and white floor on the seaside? And of course, the ocean is always the feminist, or the feminine principle, the unconscious, things like that. So it's kind of an appropriate landscape. And I always look at this and I always think how beautifully the hourglass and the time mimics her own body and the ephemerality of feminine beauty and the loss of power that often accompanies that. And if I looked at this one real closely, which is one of my favorite paintings, so I